28 years later, The Bone Temple released in cinemas today. Well, that's if this video goes up on time. So let's discuss if this is worth going to the cinema to watch, or if you should just wait to watch this at home. Now, The Bone Temple is the fourth film in the 28 Days franchise and a direct sequel to 28 Years Later that released last year. And I was lucky enough to watch this last year in December at an early screening, and I'm only just now allowed to talk about it, so let's discuss this movie. Now, typically as it comes, zombie movies can be pretty bland and repetitive, but I'm a big fan of this franchise, and 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple's just as consistent as the previous ones. Now, this film is certainly much more self-contained than the previous ones, basically only following Spike with the Jimmies and Ralph Fiennes with the Bone Temple. But I wouldn't say that means this movie is meaningless, because it has two major changes that moves this franchise forwards into the third and final 28 Years movie. I'm a really big fan of the story with Spike joining the Jimmies, because believe it or not, a bunch of Satan-worshipping Jimmy Savile lookalikes are much scarier than some zombies. And they really lean into the fact they worship Satan, with these Jimmies being sadistic. Some of the scenes that we see with them are genuinely quite hard to watch, and I'd even be willing to say this film is much more gory from both the Jimmies and the zombies than the previous one. And Jack O'Connell as the leader is probably his best performance this year so far. Now obviously I watched the film last year, so if it actually released last year, maybe that statement would have been a bit more impactful, but it's not as good as Sinners. But this film definitely didn't deserve to release in January, usually the month where most companies just dump their films they don't really have that much faith in. But this film releasing along stuff like Hamnet and Rental Family, this seems like it's going to be a good start of the year so far. Now, one of my main criticisms towards this film is it does slightly plateau during the middle, because this is where we see Spike try and reject the Jimmies even though he's stuck in it, so it becomes slightly repetitive. But a lot of tension is made through the Jimmies because they're very spontaneous and they will kill for nothing.
But obviously we're going to kill you first.
I think one of the most important parts of this movie is we learn a lot about the zombies, and this is something that's been very consistent with this new 28 Years trilogy, because in the previous one we learned that they've evolved. In this one, that idea is furthered through Ralph Fiennes' character. I don't want to spoil it too much because there's a lot of development through this storyline and probably one of the most important in this franchise. But Ralph Fiennes' character develops a really nice relationship with the zombie Samson, and you probably don't remember who he is. But if I tell you he's the zombie with the third leg, you probably will now. And I like how the relationship builds up. It's a bit of a slow burn, but it really works with some nice humorous aspects. And this film is certainly more about character-based interactions and storytelling rather than the threat of the zombies. And let's be honest, the ending of this film has certainly got me excited for whenever the third film releases. And obviously going into this movie, I had my doubts. Last time Danny Boyle didn't direct a 28 Years movie, we know how that went. But Nia DaCosta did a really good job with this film, and I'm glad you can see the love for this franchise was in the film. And stylistically, this film is gorgeous, being both consistent and individual to the previous one, with some beautiful cinematography, and thank God it doesn't have that awful effect when it'll go around the characters, because I really didn't enjoy that from the last 28 Years movie. But I think that's everything I have to say about this film. Thank you so much, Sony, for the invitation to watch this film early. But wait, the video's not quite over yet, because I've just received a PR box from Sony and Dead Man's Fingers while editing this video. First of all, my God, this is so heavy. Let's open it up though. He's screaming at me! Now inside the box we have 2 bottles and 2 glasses. A spiced rum and, Jesus, the other one is this massive yellow one, the Alpha Edition, which I am a bit of an alpha. And of course, 2 mini shot glasses, which they're actually really cool. Now this will probably be a bad idea because I was obviously sent these to promote them and tell you how great they are and how much you should try them. I don't drink alcohol. Should we have a sip of both? Welcome back to my kitchen, where today we're going to be trying some rum. I'm really not excited for this. That was too much. Pouring some of that back. Okay, so I brought you a little bit closer. I have my 2 shots. I think I'm looking forward to this one a little bit more, so I'm going to try this one first because I think it will be worse. Here goes nothing. Oh my God! And people do this for fun? I need some water. I've got my water, my palate cleanser. Now for the mango one. I actually think this one might not taste that bad. I think it will be awful still. Down the hatch. Oh my God! Now I know why I don't drink. Thank you, Sony, for my PR box. Please next time give me some sweet treats or something. I don't want alcohol. Let's get back to the outro. I have more videos coming soon, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them. The next one's going to be a good one, I promise you that.
Blake Lively makes out of herself
Because I'm not kidding, there's only one shot with very short, with a lot of obstructions to her face. You are simply watching it wrong. The reason is pathetic. So because of that, I'm giving this film a 1. So I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.